And we're live with the Music and Arts Box. This is Ryan, and I'm here with my guest.
What's going on? It's just for kicks. Pleasure to be on with the Artist Box. Thanks for having me, Ryan.
Thank you. So I'm going to ask him a few questions today. We're going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to skip on to a performance, and he's got some songs to play for us.
I do.
What songs do you got going on for us today?
So I'm going to kick things off with a song called Oscar off of Give Me an Oscar. It was an EP I put out back in 2019. Following that up with my most recent single, which would be Bless You. Recorded that with Knox Beats. As well as Local Celebrity, which is a longtime favorite of mine. That was the intro to my second album ever. So I really feel like it embodies me as an artist, and wrapping things up with Sunshine, which was off of my last album called Before and After.
Sounds like a solid lineup to me. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey and like when did you start rapping?
Yeah. So most rappers that I know, at least, they tell people that they've been rapping for years and years since they were, a young kid. That's not really the case for me. I had some friends that rapped in high school. I didn't do much of it myself, but I was always kind of around it. And it wasn't until college, so I was about 20 years old. My buddy came to me and said, he wanted to be a rapper. And at first, I laughed at him because, it's like the week before you wanted to be a model. Now what do you want to do? But, he's an incredible writer. And he told me, he really wanted to pursue rap. And I said, if you put 100% of yourself into this, you can do anything you want. And he asked me if I really believed in him, and I said, dude, I'll take the trip with you. I'll be on this journey with you every step of the way, and I'll put 100% of myself in it as well, so that we can really knock down some barriers. And that's kind of how things kicked off.
That sounds like a heck of a way to start off the journey then. Got your buddy with you and you guys are just riding it out.
Yeah. My buddy Cam, he's going to be the best man at my wedding. And we actually grabbed one of those friends that I mentioned from high school, Mike. He goes by Q Quick, and he was also a producer. So we had somebody to make us beats, and he was a far better rapper than me and my friend Cam, who at the time went by Clueless. May or may not be making a return to the microphone under a new name, but yeah, he really helped us. Q Quick helped us make all the beats, write all the raps, and then we really started performing on stages. Local one was Carlo Rose out of Pelham, New Hampshire. That since is no longer, but that is a place that's near and dear to my heart. They gave me a stage to perform on when no one else would. Shout out to Cody Pope. He was one of the people that really paved the way for me early on.
That's good. I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere, and everyone's, as much as we'd love to do it on our own 100% of the way, sometimes you got to have those people that help us out and guide us there,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer that, everything's more fun to do with your friends, and that makes things easier when you have other people to lean on, and that's what Minds of One Collective Genius is all about, having other artists that are in the same boat with you, and you can kind of traverse this crazy independent music world together.
Why don't you tell us a little bit of Minds of One Collective Genius?
Yeah, so the Minds of One Collective Genius, sometimes called MOCG or MOCG, was actually headed up by 13 Ball. So that was a friend that was mutual with me and who was Clueless. And so I met him. He started recording some of my music. And then when we were doing shows at Carlo Rose and working with artists like JB the Canadian, putting together shows, meeting a lot of the local talent through people like Cody Pope, we had this idea that actually 13 Ball had for quite some time of putting together like a rap supergroup. And so I heard this idea and I was like, man, we could really actually make this happen. Let's put boots on the ground. Let's put effort towards this idea, because I think it's something that could really be great. And since then, it's really taken its own life of its own. It's something that was kind of a far-fetched idea to be able to, navigate multiple people's schedule, to get them together, to make songs together. And at first, it was just kind of our group of friends heading out from like Londonderry, New Hampshire, small town New Hampshire rap group, kind of far fetched. But through all the artists that we've met through like Massachusetts artists like Jay Faith, Life, Chemic, but even other artists in New Hampshire like Aaron Brown and Michael Murphy III, we've really been able to grow even beyond rap. Now we have artists like B Snare. He's a musician. He plays the guitar. He's done some singing. He's even done some rapping himself now, working with us. And it's just allowed us to not only make music together, but also do great things for the community. We throw a fundraiser every single year for a nonprofit local to us. We've helped with people that rescue dogs to helping out the youth. And this most recent one that we did this past year was raising money for our local high school band to be able to take a trip to London. So that was really cool.
I feel like that's really like people really underestimate the power of music. Like you can really move mountains with music if you put all your heart and soul and energy into that music, and you set a goal. Like you said, you're helping the youth, you're helping dogs, you're doing all these great things to the community, and music really can do that if you put the effort and put that mindset. You want the mindset of helping the community grow with your music.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer you can do anything you put your mind to, absolutely anything, because something as crazy as touring the country as a musician for, like I said, like a small town New Hampshire kid, like not many people thought that I was going to be able to pull off like rapping and actually doing that, let alone doing it with like who was my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
That's a feat that people only kind of dream of. But if you actually set a goal and then set smaller goals to achieve that goal, it just takes effort. And that's the hardest part is the effort.
Yeah, putting on all that effort, it does get to points where you feel like you're taking L's, but you're definitely have moments where you're down in the dumps, but you need to push through those moments and put all that work in as possible, even in those really tough moments.
Yeah,
Not giving up in those moments is some of the key things. It's funny you mentioned touring, though. Tell us a little bit about your touring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll obviously speak on the tour. That was probably one of the most exciting things I've done since I began rapping. But just more to your point on the effort in those crucial points where you feel your lowest.
For sure.
That's so important for people to understand, is that like everything's on the other side. Everything you want is on the other side of those tough moments when you're at your lowest. And that's why Minds of One Collective Genius is so important to me, because I think having other people that have gone through it too with you by your side to help you in those moments is how people break through. Because that's why a lot of people quit on their dreams, because they just don't make it out of those ruts. But for me, yeah, definitely, going from a valley to a mountain, like going on tour, that is like a peak life moment for me. The person that I was referring to being my favorite artist was Chris Webby, which is how we met, which is really, really cool.
That is how we met.
But yeah, I mean, like back when my buddy Cam, or Clueless, when he said, I want to be a rapper, I was like, well, I know that Chris Webby is, a young dude from the suburbs of Connecticut, and that's still New England. So I was like, if he can pull this off, we can pull it off, but it's going to take a ton of work. And so that's what gave me the confidence that it's absolutely possible. It's just about how hard you work at it. And it's super ironic that, that would come to turn into not only just doing a show in New Hampshire with him, but then being able to tour the East Coast, the Midwest, and all over, and really meeting other people that are just like me because they were Chris Webby fans, and then they've now become fans of my music.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, exactly. And just forming great relationships with people like yourself has been such a fun part of touring.
Yeah, I gotta say, out of all my work as a photographer, I don't really talk too much about my photography work because I don't want to make this show about that. But being able to have that full circle, I was a big Chris Webby fan for probably a good 7 years,
Mhm.
and probably like 3 years after being a Webby fan, his music pushed me to be a photographer and
That's
push
crazy.
past my disabilities and focus on what the art was to me.
Yeah,
And then I went around, and me and you ended up meeting at a Chris Webby show.
that's
Uh,
right.
you were opening up for Webby that day. That was a heck of a performance.
Thank you.
Honestly, I'm really grateful to be able to see how much you have grown with your music, and then full circle, I ended up being able to do photos for Webby, and like you said, that nothing beats that feeling of no. A lot of people don't get to work with, who inspires them. So being able to have that opportunity, nothing beats that feeling.
Seriously, and it's exciting for me to even watch you do all of that because like that's exactly how I felt. And when I like tell this story of I was just a big fan, and then he gave me that phone call to perform with him, and then from there we went on tour. Like that's not just bragging. I want people to realize how possible these things are, and it's really cool. People like yourself doing the same thing, seeing me being able to like perform on stage, and then you're like, well, I want to do something creative myself, and the pinnacle for that for me would be being able to shoot photos for Webby, and
Yeah.
now you went down to Toad's place, and that was probably an incredible time if I
Oh
can
my God,
imagine.
unbelievable experience. Honestly, Token walking past me like 6 times probably almost made me faint. Honestly, that was whew. Uh, but like you said, man, anything is possible if you put your mind to it. And it
Seriously.
sounds cliche, but it really is true. You guys can make your dreams happen if you just have to put the effort in and put your work in. And that's really honestly the feeling you get when you achieve those things and make those milestones. Unbeatable feeling.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of things on like the internet where people talk about manifesting,
Yeah.
and there's like a important distinguishing factor of manifesting because I don't think that you will achieve anything that you want in life unless you first visualize it. You absolutely need to visualize it to use the laws of attraction to bring it into your life and make it reality. So you first have to visualize it, manifest it, but then you do have to do all the work
Yeah.
that comes with it. That's not the fun part, but it's so rewarding, and I think that a lot of people, they fall in those places of doubt, and they think that just manifesting it isn't ever going to work. Or then the flip side is the people that think that only manifesting is going to make it work. But
Yeah, no.
it
You got to put
definitely
that
is.
work in.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of both.
All right. What do you think right now with the music culture in New Hampshire? I'm going to switch it up a little bit. How do you think the music culture is in New Hampshire right now with hip hop?
That's a really interesting question because there was a time when I was so excited for everything happening with even just New England as a whole. But even the more northern region that we're in, as far as like New Hampshire and like northern Massachusetts, and even like Portland, Maine, there was so much going on at one time when I was new, and it allowed me to be able to perform in places like Vermont and Maine, and even down in Boston, and compete in all these different contests that they had. And you mentioned Token, who has had a lot of success out of Massachusetts, but it's a small circle where like the people that I was rapping in the subway with were all a part of Token's kind of rise to fame, and there were so many talented artists at one time working together cohesively that we had what we would call like a very healthy music scene in the hip hop community in New England. And then, a lot of us got older, Some of us focused on other things, other career paths or families or things of that nature. And those numbers started to dwindle within the existing scene that we had. But there's still a lot of them still going strong. Some of the names that I named earlier, like Cody Pope, is still doing wonderful things. And like shout out like I9 and Ill by Instinct. Those
Both
were
very talented.
yeah, those guys were making things happen with DJ Myth at Rap Night every single Sunday at Shaskeen. That's healthy for the scene. And now IBI is touring all over the world. But
Yeah, he's been big in Vietnam, I believe.
Vietnam,
right now.
yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah, that's like like you were saying, anything can happen. Like life has its moments where it's gonna throw some crazy curveballs at you,
Yeah.
and you just gotta ride those curveballs out, and then you can do things like perform in Vietnam.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of newer rappers coming up that are extremely talented. Crispy D out of I believe
Extremely
it's
talented
Nashua.
artist.
Yeah, I mean, he came to me like a couple of years ago, just like kind of picking my brain about performing and things like of that nature, and he has way better Spotify numbers than I've ever even scratched the surface of, and he makes really great music. Then there's also artists like Aaron Brown.
Aaron Brown, really talented.
Part of mine's One Collective
Really
Genius.
great live stage too.
Yeah, if I had to put bets on like the next big thing, my bets are all on Aaron Brown, man. He is someone that I believe in heavily. So I still believe that there's going to be a lot of incredible artists coming out of this area because we've seen what happened with, not just Tokens level, but like we're talking Joyner Lucas,
Yeah, he's
Bia.
from Massachusetts too.
Yeah, Bia as well. Bia, I mean, she made a song with J. Cole that was produced by John Glass, who is out of Massachusetts. He's been making beats for artists like Token for a long
Yeah.
time. But also a co-producer on that was Tim Nyan, and that was another dude that I used to rap in Pelham, New Hampshire at the
Yeah.
Carlo Rose with. So that's been like such a crazy thing to see how artists from this area can grow, and I think that there's going to be a ton more of them. Artists like Queso, like Justin Clancy,
Mhm.
like these artists are next
Queso
in
and
line.
Justin Clancy, both up there, like really good artists.
Yeah.
Like they're especially starting to like Justin Clancy, especially is starting to really get into touring
Yeah,
all over the place, and Queso as well.
and like people, I don't know how many people like dig into New Hampshire rappers, but like Aziz, the Sheikh, he's been producing for J. Cole because he produces most of Bia's stuff. But like, I met him in California when I was visiting producer Skelly Beats, and we stopped over to say hello to J-Zack because he's actually from Derry, New Hampshire
Yeah.
originally. He just had his album release at the Shaskeen in Manchester. That was really fun. We kinda
Absolutely love that
got
pub,
all-
too.
Yeah, we got all the whole old homies together, and he's been doing great. J-Zack's an incredible artist, but he introduced me to Aziz. While we were hanging out there with him and his producer Rocky, and I had no idea that Aziz was making these songs for Bia that I was seeing get on the charts. Now he's doing stuff with, he's hanging out with J. Cole in New York. I just saw him in the studio with MGK. Machine Gun Kelly
Yeah.
is a huge artist. So there's a lot happening that people just don't realize.
Yeah.
People don't realize when they see these songs like that Joyner did with Eminem. It's like, well, that song was like made by a guy in Milford, New Hampshire, who's now moved to Derry, New Hampshire, Knox Beach,
Yeah.
right? And then who's shooting all these music videos for Chris Brown and Joyner and
It's funny you mentioned Joner too. I believe it was over the summer. He's originally from Massachusetts, and he opened up like a froyo shop in Massachusetts. His own froyo shop in Massachusetts. Like came back to his hometown, was like, all right, I'm gonna open a froyo, and then ended up shooting a big music video there.
yeah, and that music video was shot by my friend Trevor Finney. So Trevor, originally he had made music video for his buddy Nasty. Used to go by Knockout. So he's a very talented artist out of Massachusetts as well. I love his work. But Trevor went from doing a video or two with him, and then he was referred to me by a promoter, like just someone that was great with camera work. Me and my buddy who went by Clueless, we then hired him to shoot a music video, and since then he shot a ton of my music videos. He moved up to New Hampshire, started working with a lot of the artists here locally, like that Tim Nyan guy that I mentioned. He's a super talented artist. I got to see him at the JZack show. That was great to see him. But Trevor just kept leveling up, his video production, and now shot that music video for Joyner Lucas, and has shot another one since then that is doing huge numbers. So
that is great.
I'm so excited for him.
Like we've been saying, put the work in, and you can make really amazing things happen. Honestly, I think another big factor in for a while, I feel like the music scene was pivoting because COVID really made it hard for live music to be a thing.
It did.
And a lot of these artists, who even were making big kickstarts and doing good things beforehand, couldn't go on tours. They couldn't. It was hard to find places to perform at because who's going to book when nobody's going to be going out to restaurants,
Right.
So it ended up making a big impact on the music scene. But I feel like, kind of after we got out of that COVID transition and, things kind of opening back up again, I think people were like, okay, we need to do something about the scene of music right now because they knew the impact COVID had on it, and they're like, we're gonna make a change. And that's why it's so cool to see Rap Night, like you were mentioning. A lot of different events like that are going on now because I feel like that kind of also gave a lot of artists pushes that they needed.
Yeah, Rap Night's been going on for far before I even started rapping. It's a wonderful thing that has stayed a wonderful thing. But yeah, right around COVID is when even people that were trying to get weekly or monthly events going, they all died out, and it made it tough. For sure, having the opportunity to tour just after COVID or on the heels of COVID was, for me, okay, I may never get this chance again. They may shut things back down. We never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So that was okay, I got to take this opportunity, and run with it. But I think that for the local scene, there's a lot that we can do. And honestly, I, for a while, took over things like the Mind Spray competition that was held in Boston. I tried to hold that up in New Hampshire, and there just wasn't enough. This was on kind of the decline of the artists that were working in our scene, where it was really thriving and healthy. And so as that was kind of on the decline, the contest didn't do so well. But I think that, I find it a responsibility of mine to have Minds of One Collective Genius throwing events that local rappers can, or just musicians in general, can perform at. And we just acquired some live equipment so that we can now turn any venue into a music venue and really make that happen. And I'm going to be putting some more time towards that. But the real goal is to, bring bigger artists out this way, because that's how you attract the fans. I'm not so sure that I ever would have really met you if it wasn't for opening for a much larger artist like Webby.
Probably not, but I feel moments like those also happen, you meet people and then years later we're on a show together talking about this crazy stuff that's happened to us. I feel like things just happen like that sometimes.
Sure.
If you meet cool people out there, don't to quote a song of yours, I've never been the type to act stuck up. I'll always say what's up.
Yeah, Vanity. No, yeah, I mean, that's just true. I mean, I'm a human being. I'm going to be the same guy no matter what happens. But I thrive on watching people like you do what you've done, where you take something that you're creative in, you're a fan of it, and then you're like, wait, I can actually be a productive member of this kind of production when it comes to like shows and being able to take pictures. Crispy Pics is another guy that
Great camera dude.
yeah, I met him at the same show as Wally's. The first time that I performed there, he was just a fan there, checking out Webby. Was a real fan of my work, and then we talked some more. He ended up picking up camera work, and now he's like winning awards in Massachusetts for like the cameraman to hire at your shows. So super proud of that dude. Shout out Crispy Pics. But just another example of like the same things that you're doing. Like you're hosting a talk show for artists. You're giving back to that community because you were inspired by a show that you saw.
Absolutely, and that's another thing too. Like being able to do this, I also get that feeling of being able to see these. You know, I meet so many great musicians through doing this that I get to see their music evolve as they go on too. Because after that we wind up talking. I end up getting to see how they grow as musicians, with evolving with their music. Maybe they change band members. And then I get to see new people come in and perform music as well, and kind of it usually brings a new blend to their music, and then maybe they hit it off way bigger than before. Getting to see bands and musicians like yourself grow, that brings me my own sense of euphoria.
Love that. That's what it's all about.
Really is. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna go out there, and you can perform your 4 songs that we talked about.
Yeah, let's get it, man.
All right, sweet. Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
I'm looking forward to hearing you perform.
Let's go. What's going on? My name's Just for Kicks. You can find me at Just for Kicks JFK on all social medias. This first one is called Oscar. It's off of my EP called Give Me an Oscar. You'll find out why it's named that in a second. But I recorded this back in 2019, so it's a little bit of a throwback. Check it out. Yeah. Now, I've never been the type to complain much, but the life that I've been living got me caged up, dangerous. Mundane is contagious, and I'm in quarantine on an everyday basis. Face it, everybody wanna be famous. Chances that you make it off of music outrageous. I'ma only listen what my sister had to say was never play the victim. That's not how our parents raised us, changed up. So now I'm doing it differently, taking instrumental and turn it into a symphony. This simply what I was born to do, is a gift for me, and I ain't about to walk away from what the Lord has given me. Now I'ma take what's mine, I won't be shy. Nobody gonna waste my time, the pace I climb. Basically a racing now, not chasing. Always been the ace, the prime. I see that number 1 spot, I want it. Young Shakespeare, when I write these sonnets, I'm like hell Bob's coming. My followers along for the ride, and I can tell they counting on me by the look in their eyes, like they should just give me that Oscar. They should just give me that Oscar. They should just give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that Oscar. They should just give me that Oscar. They should just give me that Oscar. They should just give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. You start to lose who you are when it's all in act. We can change the future now, but can't take it back. I got temptations like I'm McFly with that almanac, but I don't want no trophies as I get to keep my soul intact. That's better. Always been a freaking go-getter since my boy Wing told me not to let up on momentum. All those things, yeah, you said them, and you best believe I meant them. Through the carnage and the ricochet, feeling like I'm Venom, needing Eddie Brock. Just not my shot. When I close and keep Eddie wild. Snap the shot with it. Let the cops instead of talk. Now they ask me for new music, and I tell them that the video already dropped. So they should just give me that Oscar. They should just give me that Oscar. They should just give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that Oscar. They should just give me that Oscar. They should just give me that Oscar. They should just give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. When I'm on that stage, y'all know what to do. And I'll know who to thank. When I'm on that stage, y'all know what to do. And I'll know who to thank once I say my name. came to bless you. I came to bless you. Yeah, my mama raised me right. Come on, girl, it's just polite. Gotta keep your chin up high. Blessings on blessings on blessings. I'm saying there's the days in these sessions. In the studio, one to another. I'm laying verses that's smoother than butter. And I be spreading just like on the cob. Some say it's corn, some say it's not. I ain't too worried about how to snob. Blessing these heads and I'm watching them nod. Put on a show, ain't a facade. A standing O, here to apply. We get it clapping and making it happen. And learn on the go like we study abroad. You gotta keep your chin up high. I came to bless you. I came to bless you. Yeah, my mama raised me right. Come on, girl, it's just polite. Gotta keep your chin up high. Yo, impressed when we turn the mic on, the Kleenex flex and we spray like Krylon. Jump off stage, do a flip and dive bomb, then light up a J and Angels light on. I spy mode with them golden eyes on. Crack that code, unleash the python. Come through, grip up on attack on. You be blessed, I even write songs every time you sneeze. Oh, you best believe. Get down on your knees and pray. You gotta keep your chin up high. Girl, I bless you. I came to bless you. Yeah, my mama raised me right. Come on, girl, it's just polite. Gotta keep your chin up high. And that was called "Bless You," my newest single made by Knox Beats. You can get right into the next one, man. Because this last one, the second to last one, I should say, this one's called "Local Celebrity," and I feel like it embodies Just for Kicks as an artist better than any other song I've ever made. It's an older one, so some of you guys might know it. But let's get into it, right? Cause for some this is the introduction. I fit my name in the discussion where we're at the function. I got production with that hot percussion. So every time you listen, it gon' give you a damn concussion. Yeah, from the way you bang your head, I ain't never banged a lead. I should probably sing instead, but no, I know the flow is part of my language. So I always gotta speak it, let's eat in a sandwich. Cause I don't talk with my mouth full. And now y'all talking say my plan seems doubtful. Path to success, I just took a different route, fool. Peace to my fans, I couldn't do it without you. Yeah, cause I'm that local celebrity. So everybody that I know don't wanna mess with me. Y'all forgot they keep it cool as in the recipe. Everybody's friends with the local celebrity. I'm that local celebrity. So everybody that I know don't wanna mess with me. Y'all forgot they keep it cool as in the recipe. Everybody's friends with the local celebrity. My mob deep, but nobody's sleeping with the fishes. I don't show with snitches, I don't even get suspicious. Trust in my family, there's word to Al's wishes. And mine's a one collective genius, more than just a business. Spit it nice, I ain't never sounding something vicious. These women think I'm delicious and wanna give me kisses. Yeah, so remember that next Christmas when Just for Kicks is written on your little sister's wish list. Ha! I ain't trying to be arrogant. You wouldn't recognize me if I cut my hair again. But round here, I'm surrounded by Karen fans staring from the stands. That's how I know that I stand a chance. Yeah, cause I'm that local celebrity. So everybody that I know don't wanna mess with me. Y'all forgot they keep it cool as in the recipe. Everybody's friends with the local celebrity. I'm that local celebrity. So everybody that I know don't wanna mess with me. Y'all forgot they keep it cool as in the recipe. Everybody's friends with the local celebrity. Man, I love doing that one. So I only got one more song left, right? And generally speaking, when I do this one live, I get crowd participation. Now, no one can see this on camera, but I only got one person in the room with me, and that's Ryan. So I'm gonna ask Ryan if you can yell A as loud as you can, and you'll know when. I'll point the microphone right at you. But this one's called Sunshine, off my latest album, Before and After. You can find it on all streaming platforms as well as the other songs you just heard. I love the feeling of that sunshine all up on my face. Man, I'm feeling good today. Whether on a long drive, hanging by the ocean, cruising on my board, or chilling at the lake. I love that sunshine all up on my face. Man, I'm feeling good today. Whether on a long drive, hanging by the ocean, cruising on my board, or chilling at the lake. Man, I'm feeling good today. Man, I'm feeling good today. Love the feeling of that sunshine. Got me feeling good today. I got that old school black hat, Arizona half and half. Man, I like the watermelon, reaching there and pass it back. Cruising with the homies, ain't got nothing to do but soaking up the sun beats, watching YouTube. Not concerned with the media, friends are all comedians. The sun is shining bright and the temperature be heating up. We getting ourselves fresh air. We got everything we need right here. I love that sunshine all up on my face. Man, I'm feeling good today. Whether on a long drive, hanging by the ocean, cruising on my board, or chilling at the lake. Man, I'm feeling good today. Man, I'm feeling good today. Love the feeling of that sunshine. Got me feeling good today. If you jump in there, then I'll jump too. Not a cloud in the sky, man, the sky is blue. And the grass is green and the water is clear. Nice breeze blowing trees in the atmosphere. Hey, the captain's here, yeah, I steer my boat. It don't matter where we going as long as we stay afloat. It's a crazy world, I'm just trying to keep my sanity. Thankful for my friends and every fan of me. They family, my relatives support me every step of the way. Now my mom have the reason that I'm standing here today. When it's time to take the stage, you don't have to wait in line. So come on and watch your sunshine. I love that sunshine all up on my face. Man, I'm feeling good today. Whether on a long drive, hanging by the ocean, cruising on my board, or chilling at the lake. Man, I'm feeling good today. Thank you guys for having me, man. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to the Artist Box. And thank you so much. My name is Just for Kicks. You can find me at Just for Kicks JFK on all social media. Thank you.